I don't know if anyone can see me. If anyone can see me, I would love to know, because I'm totally doing this without... Oh, yay! I'm totally doing this completely solo without Tech Boy. Not that I hurt his feelings or anything, but he actually, he has a life. He has his own life, and he had to go somewhere, and I'm... Oh, you can hear me good too. Perfect. Yeah, so I was so nervous. I didn't know. He left me detailed list, and I tried my very darndest to get the list completed. But, you know, anyway, that's why I'm late. I'm very, very sorry. It just feels like, you know, it feels like chaos. Whew. But I'm here to knit, and I hope you are too, and have fun. Whew. Okay. Now, yesterday we had, or at least I had, a whole whack of troubles with the double crochet. There we go. With this one right here, and that's in pattern 19, which this is my very scrubby looking copy because I keep writing on it and crumpling it. Karen was awesome, and she, you know, she was trying to walk me through it. We had such a bad storm, like electrical storm, yesterday with lightning and all that stuff, you know, good stuff. I don't crochet, and there was a lag, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I think I got it right, and Karen was very supportive. So what I did today is that I researched it all morning, and I was going through, I think they were Japanese videos. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know what the language was. I think it was Japanese, though. And I found a really great tutorial, and I posted it in the Japanese Knit Forum, like the Love of Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible Forum on Facebook, like the Facebook page. And I hope you go and take a look at it. I marked where the person actually did the tutorial, like for that stitch, and it was so cool. Oh, okay, so Sandra, okay, I tagged you in a post on the Facebook group about the key on pattern page 19 being wrong. Ooh. Do you mean the one that Sandra, do you mean the one that I made? Like the chart that I made? Or are you talking about actually in the book? I'm just waiting for your... Okay, I'm just kind of waiting for your response there. I do notice that there is a few discrepancies. But I mean, every book has hiccups when they publish them, you know, that's why they do that. And you know what? I forgot to bring my phone down with me to my little den here, and so that way I could like jump on and take a look real quick. I'm just gonna try it on one of the many monitors that Oh, watch me screw this up. It's the square with the vertical symbol. It should be a pearl on the wrong side. On the wrong side row. Okay. And pattern 19, the square. Okay. Oh yeah, it's showing us a knit two together. Okay, because run and grab your phone and we can wait for you. Okay. I'm gonna try something without there's like so many monitors here. Nope. I don't know how to get at those monitors. Like, I don't want to knock the, you know what? See, it's hard for me, for something's going on with the chat too. Like, I can't read it in the normal chatty spot. So it's against, you have to pardon me if I'm like leaning way in. Has been missed off the, it has been missed off the key. Oh, okay. Everybody, you'll see just a blank page. You might see my dogs getting up on my desk, but I'm going to run upstairs real quick, grab my phone, run back downstairs so I can find out what that tag was in the Facebook group. I apologize. One moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Whew. So I'm just going to go on our Facebook group. Alrighty. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Okay. Groups. Did the sprint up the stairs, and my two labs thought I was trying to play with them, so they were trying to trip me all the way. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so... Okay. Found the updated chart. No, is it Karen? Okay, does anyone know how to alter the screen we see the live video on? I have a square pattern images cycling through over and over, and her logo, and they are both about 2 inches square on my screen, and then I have a mini version of the chats too on my screen, all in the video area. I don't know how to do that. That's Karen who says that. You know, I could give Tech Guy a call. He's in a different province. He may not like that, but I don't even know if he knows. 'Cause that was my dog. It's now under my feet. I'm sorry, I don't know how to remove, like, the little pictures here that are kind of moving. Okay, maybe Techman can let us know the next day is here. Thank you. I may have to call him anyway for... I can't see your chat except for in this little tiny bar, and my eyes are so bad. You know, it's like... Ugh. Oh, hey, your chats now pop up. That's wonderful. Okay, I can see your chats on the big screen now. But as to make those images, other little items for mobile to stop being so big, I have no idea. Yeah, you know, let's find out. I'll find out how to change that with Tech Guy, and then I'll post it in the Facebook group so everyone knows, because honestly, I don't even know either. So if he can find that out, aces, that would be awesome, you know. Now, okay, on row 2, wrong side of pattern 19, the squares with the vertical line in the key tells you to it tells you to knit. Previously, the key has said to purl on the wrong side. Looking at the stitch pattern in the book, it looks to me like it's a purl stitch. Has the wrong side been missed from the key? And now we have 3 comments. Let's find out. Okay. And to add, I'm following the chart for Nin's knit along, and I think the key is wrong. Okay. I've followed my gut feeling and done a few rounds, and yes, the stitches should be purled. Thank you, Bridget. Okay, dokie. Oh, thanks. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. My little girl just gave me some tea. There you go. All right, let's take a look, because it's very possible. So I'm on 19 as well, and I'm using my charts, and let me see. Sandra says that it's on row 2. Okay. The pattern, the squares with the vertical line in. Has the key tell you to knit? Previously, the key has said to purl on the wrong side. Knits. Okay. Yeah, let me just take a look here. So, on the right side, the lines are knits. On the wrong side, those lines are purls. So you are correct. That's my mistake. I am sorry. On wrong side, the vertical lines absolutely are a purl. And the blank squares, well, it's written there as a purl and a knit. That's me. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, great eyes. You should be a technical editor. Yeah. Okay. I will definitely make that little notation in there, Sandra. Because you are correct. That key does just say knit when it should say right side, wrong side, you know, right side, knit, wrong side, purl. 100%. Okay. Oh, yay! Okay, I know that there's something with Chrome. Tech Guy did say that, phew, not phew for you, but for me. Okay. I know, I gotcha. Tech Guy did say something about the Chrome browser doesn't like to play nicely with Twitch. I don't know why. I have no idea. But I don't know. I like using Chrome sometimes, but I use Chrome on my phone, and I noticed that when I try to, you know, watch one of my favorite Twitch shows, it doesn't work well. and I have to go back and all this other stuff. So yeah, on it could be that on your phone you were using Chrome. Not sure, but that is a question for Tech Guy, and I will make a note about that. Just gonna write that on my pattern here. Chrome. I don't even know if I spelt that right. Okay, so Tech Guy. All right. Woo. So how is everyone going along? Like coming along with it? Are we like almost done the pattern 19? Because what I did, oh wait, Jazz Tune, sorry, is a knit on the right side or a purl on the right side. The vertical line in the boxes, like for example on the chart, if it's box 1 on the far right hand corner, there's that vertical line, there's 3 of them. That's the right side. That is the knit stitch. What Sandra would, oh wait, was it Sandra? Oh, okay. Karen, you're on the separating part going into pattern 19. Oh, good. So you're all the glitches and everything, you'll have the benefit of that. So on the wrong side, like if you read from left to right on the chart, say on line 2, the vertical line is still there. If we look down in the key just below the chart, the vertical line just says knit. I should have caught that. That should actually say right side knit, wrong side purl. Sorry about that, because that was something I should have caught. Yeah. I really feel rotten about that. I'm so sorry. But I'm glad that, what was it? Let me check. I don't think it, you know, it's funny because Gail said that some of the stitch patterns are, the key is flipped. Depending on how many, if there's more purls than there is knits in the key or in the actual stitch, the little icons will, or sorry, the little symbols will change. So in 19, okay, so 19, it does say a blank square, right side is a purl. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, when I wrote them out, or at least when I told my computer to spit out the directions and the keys, I have them all being the same. Like, every time you see a vertical line on the right side, that is a knit. And on the wrong side, that vertical line is a purl. Yes. That is correct. Okay. So just to clear that up, they may be slightly different in the book, but I remember at the time when I was charting them, that I had asked Gail in the Facebook group about how a certain stitches look, and she did mention that the symbol for knits or the symbols for purl will change depending on the pattern. If you're in your book on page 26 and you're looking at stitch pattern 19, you can see in the key under the chart it does have a blank square equals purl right side. But then if we look at stitch pattern 18, which is above it, just for looking at it, the blank square in that one represents a knit. So that's weird. Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to show you mine, because what I did yesterday, I was working furious trying to understand that double crochet thing, because honestly, even with the wonderful Karen's help, I still wasn't getting it, you know. And that's why I had to go to the link and find out. Now, here's my work here. I'm in the middle of a cable, so I'm just gonna put my needles a little funny. There we go. Just want to see if you can see that. So these are the baubles that I thought, or maybe, I don't know. They look nice though. They really stick out. These ones, they're very tactile. So if I was going to use this for a baby's blanket, having a little bit of tactileness, that's a real word, that's always nice for a baby. That's at least my mom, who knits baby blankets for the last, how long has she been doing it? 60 years, I think Mama's been doing it. Anyway, she likes to have a little bit of a tactile element to her blankets that she gives as gifts or donates. And I've seen even my babies, when I used the blankets Mama gave me, they would always poke their fingers through the little holes, or they would grab onto the little baubles. I mean, they were secure. I think the way that I was doing them, which is different from the video that I found today, I think it still looks really pretty. The video today that I found, it gives a similar look. I don't know if you can see it. There's that bauble right there. That's the one that I did from the video today that was a Japanese video, and I linked it. So it's a little different, but it is not as stand up, but I like it. I think it's okay. Now I see there's some, okay. I'm on, okay, that's different than in the book then. I think that key belongs to the above chart and vice versa in the book. I think so too. So if you're going by the chart that I created and you printed out, just maybe right above the vertical line down in the key, just right above that, purl wrong side, and you won't go wrong. It'll be great for you. So yeah, so I did 2 repeats of that pattern 19, and I did almost 2 full repeats of the previous one. I like it. Like, they're nice. But do you notice how our edges, my edges, maybe yours do too, they come in, like they undulate. And the reason why is that 6-stitch cable, the tension put on those 3 spots is like sucking in the fabric, and then it kind of exhales and releases the tension afterwards. So that's why my edges, I think once I block it, I think I'll even block it with wires possibly, then it'll straighten that out. I mean, I do intend to make it a wall hanging, so if I do that, you know, I could even put it on like some sort of board background with fabric and just put obscured pins in it just to hold it. So So everyone who's here today, by the way, I want to say thank you for coming and watching. Okay, should we try to watch out tension on the cables and try to do them looser? You could see how that looks. When I design cables, I don't usually recommend that people try to, let me see if I've got a sample here anywhere. No, I don't see any of my cable samples here. I don't usually recommend that people change their knitting hand or their tension during a cable. There is that I don't know if they call it kinetic energy, but there's that energy that draws in simply from the crossover of the stitches. What I usually do to compensate for that, to make sure that the gauge is consistent up the design, is that I will make increases, and I'll hide them somewhere within the pattern, so when we hit the cable and that energy pulls in the fabric, those extra stitches will create the illusion of it relaxing. So theoretically, it will be what was I going to say? The draw in won't be noticeable. Now, this is weird. I've got the chat box is out of sync, so I'm gonna have to look here. So in garments, you can calculate the cable flare. Yes, you can. Yeah. Now, now on the screen you could see where there's that blue hat that I did. That was a lot of cabling. So I had to put in a lot of increases and decreases for the cables, but also to get the actual shape of the hat itself. Like, I needed to make sure that the shape wasn't altered, because I didn't want it to look bumpy or funny or make your skull look weird when you had it on, like you stuffed like a whole bunch of hair in there. But you are right, in garments you can calculate the cable flare. In fact, a lot of designers use the cables as a really nice way to draw in garments when you want a negative ease. So if you wanted something like it's really fitted, you know, you might want to put, like, say up here, I've seen where people, because this is the high bust area, they will put, like, say, a cable down a raglan just to draw the fabric in a little tighter, so it's a little more smoother against the bust area, the high bust area, as it goes towards the underarm. And then sometimes under the arm they will put, like, when they do that, they'll put a gusset on. It's on the I don't know how to say it, Guernseys or Gainsey sweaters. I've seen that. But like, I love cables. That's usually my jam, is cables. I love them. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could experiment. Try doing the cables a little bit with a lighter hand to see if you like it. My only fear is that the pearls that border the cables are going to, they may develop that, like, there's like a little hole on the sides of the cable, like where they border with the pearl, and that might gape. Or that would be my only hesitation with lightening up your gauge. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to lean in real close here. I think that was, I can't read the print is so small. It's like the size of like a pepper grain for the name. I can't read the name. Ah! Okay, So you just watched a video last week on cable flare. Very interesting. Have not always understood negative ease. Have not understood negative ease yet. Always learning. Yes, negative ease is, that is something that a lot of designers, even them, like designers themselves, may not completely understand. And when we want our garments to fit like beautifully, like I'm a little more fuller figured, right? Which I think most of us Canadian girls are, because we like our maple syrup. And anyway, I would not want a garment to be a big block coming down on my body. I would want to have a little bit of negative ease to bring it in, to highlight the features of my body that I want to show the best, to their best advantage, I mean. And I find some designers, and I won't name names because that would be rude, I'm not going to do that. Some designers, they tend to just kind of ignore that little bit of shaping that you could put in. And what they do is they leave it up to us, the knitters, to figure out where we want to put in that little bit of shaping. Like say if we wanted to put in like a bust dart, just so that it draws that, because you don't want to have a whole whack of fabric hanging and make you look heavier than what you are. I mean, that's like my worst nightmare, right? So yeah, and cables are a good way to play with that negative ease and positive ease too. There's ways to do that. So yeah, that was a very long spiel sorry, about whether or not you should try loosening up your tension. You certainly could, but my only hesitation in saying that is, do you see how right here where we do have our cross, do you see how those yarn overs that we have, where is it, just below and just above, they're drawn really close to that cross when they're actually not on that row, right? They're like one, two, it's like the second one down from it. So if you loosen that up, you may get like an extra gap in there, and I'm not exactly sure how pleasing that would look. So really, that would be an experiment. And I mean, hey, if it didn't look good, or if you didn't care for it, just rip it out. You know, it's not hard. Although it does feel heartbreaking when we do that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to knit along on, I think I'm going to finish up this last cable section, maybe put another couple of bobbles in, and then I'm going to transition into the separating stitch, and then hop on over to pattern 27. That one was that one was really hard to chart. I had to actually create those little, they look like toboggans to me. I don't know why everything today seems to be like oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Who, Jazz Tune. Okay, I can see when I put the paper under, it highlights your name, so I can squint and make it out. Okay, Jazz Tune says, I'd love to see you demonstrate the making the bobble. I know yesterday that was a big ordeal. And I missed the resolution. Yes, it was a big ordeal. 'Cause oh my gosh. I felt like towards the end I might get myself tied up in the yarn. It was so like, oh my gosh. Let me do some bobbles here. I'm just gonna finish the cable that I stopped halfway through, which obviously is not a good idea because you can drop stitches. And I will do the bobbles. You know, from researching crochet, like the double chain bobbles, yeah, today, that's really interesting. Like, crochet is, oh man, I'm gonna do a mess here, I just know it. Crochet is so interesting. And I do I have a cable needle? No. This shall be my cable needle. It's my darning needle. Yeah, crochet is super cool. And I used to feel that knitting was superior. Probably shouldn't have said that, but I always felt like knitting was by far superior because you use 2 needles and therefore it's much more complicated, and, you know, being a knitting snot, you know, basically, or whatever they call that, like a snob. But no, crochet is fun. And I am certainly going to learn how to do that once the knit along is done, and before my next knit along starts with the free pattern, which won't be for about another 2 weeks anyway, because I've got to get it back from the tech editor and then pay her. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm off camera. I just had to use a darning needle to catch stitches and all that craziness. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to learn how to crochet because I want to try that. That looks so pretty. Some of the garments that I've seen. I'm not sure about crocheted socks. Anyone crochet socks? Also, when you get a minute, can we chat about the separator update? Yes, absolutely. We can do that. And that was Karen who said that. Okay. Now, just on my wonky cable there. Alright, so where am I? I think I'm doing here. So I need to do 4 pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, here we go. I'm going to show you. It's a cross between, well, I'll show you how I did it. So, for those who crochet, bear with me. I probably am not starting it right. I have a feeling that I should be chaining something. But what I did is I yarn over the crochet hook, go down into, see that little bar between the stitches? Go in, yarn over the crochet hook again, and we hook the yarn, our working yarn that is, and pull it up. So then, this is what we get on the crochet hook. We've got 2 loops. The next step, I'm just going to snug those up a little bit. There. The next step is to make another, bring your yarn over the crochet hook again, and then pull that working yarn you just hooked through the 2 loops without destroying anything. There we go. And that, let's see, will it focus? Well, I'm going to fix that thing so it's a little, like, I've got an overhead cam. I think I need to make it a little bit closer so that we can see the stitches. So anyway, that is the first one, and we need to do 3. So I'm going to repeat that. So yarn over, go down under the bar, yarn over, hook that working yarn, so I'll leave the needle alone, hook the working yarn, pull it up. So now we have 3 loops on. The first one's the stitch that we already did. And then I'm just going to yarn over and pull the working yarn that I just hooked with the needle, or the hook, through the first 2, which are the working loops. And now we have 3 of those little funny crochets on. Okay, oh, we have a new follower. Bjork Cavale. Thank you so much for following me. That's really sweet. Thank you, thank you. I just saw the little beautiful sheep, the colored sheep jumping. He's so cute. Okay, so now I need to do another one of those stitches. So I'm going to do a yarn over, go down under the bar again, by yarn over the crochet hook and grab it and come back up. So now we have 4. The first 2 are already our stitches. Yarn over the hook and draw that through the 2 that are right here on the left. Draw it through those 2. There. So there's 3. The next thing to do, according to the videos that I watched in Japanese, maybe, is to do, once you've got those 3 on there, and it kind of looks like the crochet symbol, like it's like that kind of like football shape, and then it has the slanted lines halfway through the football shape. So you can see there's like slanted little collars around those stitches. So now it says to do another yarn over the crochet hook. You grab it, and then you're going to pull it right through, right through all 3. And then the last step is to lock it. So you do another yarn over your crochet hook, draw it through that 1 stitch, kazam, there we go. And then, I'm all thumbs here, then you just simply, then you just simply take that like that stitch and that you created and put it on your working needle, snug it up, and it looks like a little pineapple. So yeah, does that help? Me and my short-term memory. I'm so sorry. I don't remember who it had. Oh, Jazz Tune. I think it was you. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, that is the creation of the bauble. I'm kind of thinking I should have had a chain at the start, but when I go to purl and I snug it up, it still kind of puffs up on this. Do you see how it still puffs up over the fabric? Like it still has something good like 3-dimensionalness to it. So I'm just gonna get to the point where I'm gonna do another one here. Oh, rats. I gotta do a cable first. I have to say, I'm really loving trying out these stitches as a sample, like in a little sampler. You know, because it's just for me. Oh, good. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm just loving making these Japanese stitches on a sampler just to see what they look like. I'm probably gonna do a whack of them in different weights in the size weight of yarn that I normally use. So I'm going to use them as stepping stones for creating new patterns, like garment patterns or accessory patterns, maybe even some shawls. Because these stitches, oh my word, they're beautiful. Oh, and I don't know if you saw in the forum, I had, or in the For the Love of Japanese Knitting Stitches Bible book, or Facebook group. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at remembering group names and whatnot. But in our Japanese group, I asked Gail about the new version that's coming out in November. I wanted to know, like, is that going to be the same patterns or like the same stitches, you know? Is there going to be any new patterns in the back and stuff like that? Because I may have to get one if it's different. And Gail did say they are different stitches. Now, some are very similar, but they're variations. And I would love to see how, he told me Shida, how she thinks, because if I can see a variation of one stitch and then see how she does it in another way, I can kind of look at her thought process and say, oh, why did she do that, and kind of reverse engineer to figure out why she did what she did. And that's always nice, because then you can springboard from that for a design. Okay, so I'm going to do the bobble again. So, I'm sure this will become second nature once I figure it all out. Okay, so we wrap around the hook first. Oh, all these needles. Okay. We wrap the hook down under that little bar, center bar. Wrap the hook. Grab. And I've got my 2 working loops. I'm just going to snug that up. There we go. Not too snuggy, because I found my yarn splits. I'm going to try. Holy smokes, it's like elephants up there. That would be my children. Okay, so I'm wrapping. I got the first one done. It's funny when I'm doing stitches on a camera like this, like, I really have to consciously remember not to like take my thumb and like squeeze the death out of it, those stitches, because I tend to do that. And if I do that, like how I'm doing now, you can't see anything. Which is not the point. That's like totally not what you're supposed to do when you're trying to help people on camera. Oh. All right. There we go. All right, so I have 2. I'm gonna wrap my hook. Go down. Wrap my hook. Grab it. And this is my 3rd one, and I'm all caught up in my traces. There we go. Hi, hi, hi. And wrap my hook. Bring it through the last. There. Now I've got my 3. And I'm going to wrap the hook again. Oh, my word. I feel like I should have another arm. Okay, wrap the hook. Pull it through the 3 stitches I made. Oh, I see someone says that they pre-ordered the book months ago. Who said that? Oh, I apologize, I can't read your name. The type is so small. But I'll tell you, if I can't get a book because everyone's pre-ordered, I will not be happy. No. It's every crafter for themselves. We know that. So, oh man, here I was obsessing about pre-ordering and getting a book. Look what I did to that. I have to take that up apart. I've never really stood outside anywhere to like get something brand new. You know, like everyone is saying, "Oh, you have to have it." I know people have done that for like Black Friday sales, but honestly, my little neck of the woods, none of the stores have any really. They don't really do Black Friday the way some of the bigger stores are portrayed on television shows as doing Black Friday. There we go. But if I knew a bookstore had a copy of a Stitch Bible that I really, really wanted, and I knew that there was only so many, and there was quite a group of knitters that were going to want it, I would stand outside in the rain or snow to nab me one of them books. There we go. Okay, so I've done my bauble. Just going to hook that over the thing there. And I guess in the Facebook group, Gail is saying that Tuttle, yeah, it's Tuttle Press that did the print of the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. There is more stitching books coming out, and they are going to be featuring other yarn artists. So hopefully more Japanese stitches to see, which means I'll have to expand my library. I would love to get like a Russian knitting stitch book. I've yet to find one. I'd also would love to get a Chinese knitting stitch book. Not even sure if they have. I'm sure they knit. Oh, come on. I'm sure they knit. Obviously, every culture has some sort of knitting. But I don't know, like I haven't seen anywhere on the internet where this is a specific, Chinese stitch. I haven't seen that. Either that or I'm not looking in the right places. But I have been searching because I do adore learning things from other cultures. I'm almost done this round. I'm going to do the wrong side and then I'm going to jump into the separating stitch because I know that pardon me, Karen is looking for that, so I'm going to do that in just a moment here. So for the people who like pick your yarn, like your yarn's over here and you kind of like pick it, how do you find working the Japanese stitches? Because like I guess I'm a thrower, like what's that called, like an English style? I don't know. So I only know my way, and I was wondering if you found it quite easy when you're picking stitches. I think that's what it's called. Okay, so I've got my first part of the bobble. Oops, wrong way. There. So that's my 2. Got a lab. His name is Charles. He's not very smart. Okay, there's my 3. So then I do get them all together. Charles right now is chasing a fly. He's 2 years old. Those who were with me yesterday, like, I had the biggest mess ever yesterday. I don't see any chat. I don't know if... Oh, okay. So I see Jazz Tune says, I knit continental, which is picking, with the left hand. Ah, right. But I did learn English throwing, which is the right hand. All right, so throwing is the English. So I throw. Okay. So Jazz Tune, when you're... Do you do the continental while doing the Japanese stitches? Like, have you found any kind of like dexterity issues? Like, because like I just find sometimes the needles are very unwieldy while I'm doing my throwing. So I'm just wondering if that is an issue for the people who knit in a different way. Yes, I'm doing it lefty continental. It feels pretty smooth. Oh, really? Okay. I do have like some issues with like sensitivity, like nerve stuff. Maybe I should try. Oh, you're doing worsted weight, so that helps too. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. I love working worsted weight. This lace weight. Well, this is not lace weight. What am I doing? I'm doing sock weight. So people using lace weight? Oh, that would be really beautiful. But I wonder what the stitches would look like. I should get some lace. Oh no, I've got cobweb. I don't think I will try it with that. I've got a skein of cobweb I got many years ago, and it's followed me through to many different places, and I've never used it, so I was thinking, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, what am I doing here? 1, 2, 3. Oh yes. Through that wrong, I'm just going through my wrong side row so I can get to the sampler. You know, I bet these stitches would look gorgeous in, well, I know they look gorgeous in worsted weight because I used some of Shida. I think Shida is her first name because I believe the Japanese, they have the last name comes first and then the first name comes second. So I think her name is Shida. And I've seen Gail refer to her as Shida. So, stop it. You're okay. Yeah, I've used her stitches in that new hat pattern. Mind you, it was a border stitch that I elaborated on. And it's in worsted, so it felt very comfortable doing. Okay, so Charles has brought the fly with him. He's now sitting under me, and the fly is bugging me. No pun intended. Ugh. just working through here. Hey, let go of that. Hey, no touching. Okay. What is it about pets and yarn? Anyone have? I'm sure everyone has pets out there, or at least some people do. Oh. My mom has a Shih Tzu, and all he loves to do is when as soon as Mama sits down in her knitting chair, he curls right up against Snuggies right up beside her, and he likes to wrap the yarn around his paws and around his snout. So as she draws it up, her working yarn, it like has to go through like this dog maze, kind of body part maze. And luckily, her Shih Tzu doesn't shed, so her yarn does not. Chirpy, you have a greyhound, and she's not interested in yarn. You know what? I have to say you're very lucky. Greyhounds are beautiful. Yeah, my labs, they like to lick my yarn, and I don't know why, it's weird. But my mom's dog, his name is Mario, the Shih Tzu, who is incredibly grumpy. He's very elderly. Like Mom's yarn is always, her working yarn is always twisted around his body parts, and she shouts at him. He's deaf now. Maybe he's not. He just doesn't want to hear my mom anymore. But yeah, so I've got two great big lazy labs at my feet, and they better not be licking the yarn ball from my little container. The worst part is when you're working along and when you're just in that knitting groove. Do you know what I mean? It's like knitting nirvana or whatever. And you're just knitting along, and then suddenly that slurpy yarn comes right into your fingers, and it's like so that is a problem. I guess cats do that too. I don't have any cats, but I know Francois Danoy she's Frenchy from. Oh, okay, so Jazztoon says, I've got a standard poodle. He doesn't care about any of it? Really? A standard poodle, that's a big dog. And he doesn't try to jump on your lap while you're trying to knit, or slurp you and get at your yarn. That's amazing. Same with your dog. I don't want to say your name wrong. Chirpy. There we go. Your greyhound. That's pretty amazing. Maybe it's just my dogs in general. Oh my gosh, he's got it tied around himself, his snout. Charles! Honey. Pardon me, I'm out of camera for a second. There. Ugh. Ugh. Oh well, the show must go on. I'll just keep knitting with it. It'll dry. I'm gonna wash it anyway. It's not that no one's going to wear it, so, look how funny that looks. It's like skinny, and then it's got the hips. Alright, so I am going to do the separating stitch. Do you freak out when he does it to expensive yarn? And okay. Ooh, we've got a very long post. As for freaking out, yes, I do. I think that's why they do it. I think it's the reaction. They love reactions. Now I'm going to see. I don't want to touch any of the tech here because Tech Boy's got it set up and he said that, oh, you won't need to worry about anything. Okay, when I move, I don't know if you can see this little chat box that's above my head on your screen, but on my screen it's above my head. And I'm trying to make it so that I can, your post got, someone had wrote a long post here and I'm just trying to decipher it here because there's a lag. I don't know why. Okay, something about the separator stitch pattern. That part's cut off. The word separator stitch pattern, I can see half of it. The chart and the written instructions on the page in the file section of the Facebook page dated August 14th. I am confused as the chart does not match the words if I'm reading it right. I just wanted to make sure before I started. I did 4 rows of the previous version and it did not work. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Ripped back and ready to start row 1. Ooh, and the chart does not match. Okay, let me go into the Facebook thing. I don't think I've got the, I had to print out that separate little chart and I don't see it in my Bible. Okay. Okay, now let us see. I'm just scrolling right now. I apologize for the silence. What I'm doing is I'm just looking for that that document. Oh, okay, here we go. I see more of the chart. Or the chat, sorry. Jazz Tune says, Karen, we changed the chart for the separating stitch on Tuesday, I believe, so that there wouldn't be 2 yarn overs in a row. Yes, that is correct. That was my fault. Like side by side on row 3. Not just the yarn overs. The row 1 and 2 are different words than the chart, if I have the right document. Okay, let me look. I am just looking for the post so I can download onto my phone. Ah, there it is. Updated stitch. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at row 1, which is the right side. Okay. And I'm just going to make it a little bigger. Row 1, we knit 1 stitch, and then the repeat starts. So we knit 2, purl 7, knit. We do that 5 times. And then at the very end, after we complete the 5th one, we'll only have 2 stitches left. And we knit those 2. So that gives us a total of 53, which is our cast on amount. Row, the wrong side row, which is the 2nd row, we are going to purl 2. Okay, purl 2, yes, purl 2, and then our repeat happens. Purl 1, then we knit the 7 stitches. Purl 2, and that's in the repeat, and that's 5 times. And at the end of that row, after you do it 5 times, 1 stitch left. And that one we purl. I'm just double checking my wording here. Yeah, so essentially what it's supposed to do is underneath the eyelet section, right? Those 2 rows make like a little brick of pearls, and then we're going to have 3 stitches that are knits, and they blend into the eyelet section. That's the way it's supposed to go. On the other written instructions, let me just take a look here. Yeah, that was a hot holy mess there. Let me just see here. Yeah, because originally, if you ignore the red lines that I drew all over this, trying to figure it out on camera, of course, no less. Oh wait, okay. We've got, Karen says, the chart shows no repeats, just pearls in that section. On the new chart, they match. The chart, wait, who's saying that? Okay. So the chart shows no repeats, just the pearls in that section. Sandra says, on the new chart, they match. The chart and the words are all on one page. Yes, Karen. Yeah, I think you do have the wrong page. It should look like the new document looks like this. Like it's just the separator stitch and the words underneath it. I don't even think there's a key. Oh yeah, there is a key. The key beside it. So that, like, if you go to the group, you can search for it real quick by just clicking on like once you're in the group, if you go to discussions and there's like a little search box, if you just type in Nin, my name, and hit search, all of the things I've ever blah 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 about will show up, and you'll find that there, and you can just quickly, download it and grab that, because that's the updated version, and it's saves you a headache, because I was tearing my hair out trying to figure out what was going on before. But yeah, that's the new updated version, which I have to keep out because this is the wrong version, and I don't want to be going back and forth. Okay. Did you have the ability to bring it up on a phone or print it out, or bring up another browser window and show it? Okay. As that page shows, row 1 and 2 are either pearls or knit, based on which side you are for the most of the row, rather than any. Yeah, it's funny because the repeat is there, but as you go, like right side, wrong side, like when you switch, you'll notice that there'll be more stitches on one side after you finish a repeat than on the other side when you finish the repeat, on the right and the left, which makes it fun because it's different. But it does work out. Like it does look really pretty. Okay, so can you show me how to read row 1 and row 2 on the chart? Yes. Now have to bear with me. I've got my phone, so see if we can I make it, like, aren't iPhones supposed to do something where you like turn them? Anyway, let's... Okay. Now, it's a little blurry, but if we can make do with that, it'll work. So, row 1, right side. The first stitch is a knit. So we're going to knit the 3, and the blank is a purl. Yes, and we're going to purl 7. And then we're going to knit 1 stitch. That is the complete repeat right there. So we need to do 4 more of those. So we're just going to go back, and the repeat starts, row 1, the repeat starts by doing 2 knits. And then we do our 7 purls and our 1 knit, and that's the end of repeat 2. And then repeat 3, we go back. Okay, I'm sorry that my eyes are so bad that I have to like lean way in. Okay, that's what you were missing. Gotcha. Yep, that's what it was. So yeah, so I did try to make the line, the repeat line border a little thicker. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yeah. That's actually a really, with charts, even I do it. Like, you know, I've been doing charts for a while. I don't know about the rest of you chart reading folks, like for knitting. Like sometimes I'm going along and I'll miss the repeat and just start from the start. You know, I'm like, what have I done? But that is a very common, like it is, don't feel bad. It's common for that to happen. So yeah, that's what that was. Oh, and you're welcome. No problem. So I'm going to start that repeat as well. Oh, I was going to change a color. Ah! A fly. Where's that rotten dog when you need it? It's supposed to, he likes to, stupid lab, he likes to nab the flies out of the air and crunch on them. Chirpy, yes. You asked if I use Stitch Mastery to do my chart. Yes, I did. I have an older version that I bought long ago. I think they're on version 3 now. It's funny that you mention it because I had just emailed the lady. She's super nice. Like the woman, I don't know if she was the original programmer or the head of the company or whatever, but I emailed her and she sent me the key to update it. So I'll be updating to version 3. Yay! And there's some really, I've heard there's some really cool things about it. But I've also heard that if you have custom stitches, like when I made my custom Japanese stitches, sometimes some people, they can't get those their custom stitch libraries to open in version 3. If that happens, yes, Marla, that's Marla, my doggy. She just yawned. If that I know I'm boring, sweetie. I know. If that happens, I'm going to have to recreate all of those stitches. And let me tell you, it's a little bit of a chore. I don't mind doing it because I have to use them anyway, right? But I'd rather not. But yeah, I did use Stitch Mastery for the charts. And what I like about, if you've used Stitch Mastery before, Chipri, Stitch Mastery will, if you type in a chart, like you create your chart, it gives you the written, which is so nice when you're just designing and you can get into that flow, and you don't need to worry about the charts and the written instructions being different. That being said, if you use your custom stitches like I did for the Japanese stitches, it was giving the old version of Stitch Mastery fits. Oh, you have a 3-month key. Oh, good. So you are playing with it. It is nice. Yeah. Oh, so you would be using the latest version then. So maybe if. Oh, from Frenchie, isn't she wonderful? She's actually my mentor. Like I'm doing doing a mentorship with her. She's my mentor. So I love her. I love Frenchie. She's so good. Yeah, but so you would be using the updated, and I wonder if they have Japanese, like, I don't remember what Gail called them, but there's a special name for them. If they have the updated, yeah, she is great. If they have the updated library for Japanese stitches, because if they did, if it's already built in, that would be so nice. Yeah, because right now, when, like I said, I type out my chart, put in my Japanese stitches, check the written, and they don't match, and I'm like, oh, you know, and I have to go through them. That's why I did not have, when I wrote these samples, the samples up, or sorry, the stitches up for the sampler, I didn't have a tech editor edit them, even though, oh, you can't use the library. Ooh. I wonder if is that because you haven't tried it, or is it because the key doesn't give you access to that feature, like where it's a 3-month one? I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? When I update tonight, and hopefully nothing goes kaboom for my design files, I'll check and see. And I might put a little note in, you're in Swatch Studio Circle. I'll put a little note in there in the general saying, yay, it's worked. You know, no big massive dust clouds coming from Eastern Canada where my computer's just like, so. Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't use a tech editor, and that's why I have to apologize so much to everyone here who's been so wonderful to watch me go through this and actually look foolish at times because my stitches aren't matching the written. Yeah, it's frustrating. That's why we pay those tech editors the big bucks, you know. Speaking of that, I have a big box bill coming up next week. I think I told a few of you who were with me the first day, I submitted a design with the Japanese stuff, and my tech editor was like, "Oh, it's lovely, it's beautiful. That will be $160. I think she quoted me $160 or $140 American. Here I am, Canadian. Our dollar is like, you know." I was like, so, oh yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to doing that repeat. That was my little segue into something. But designing is fun. But for everyone who has no desire to be a designer, the ability to know the basic recipes, and I'm sure Anna, I don't think she's on today. I don't think she's watching. Anna is she has a long knitting history. I know there's some other one of you lovely ladies in the group, or watching me now, you've knitted for years. So you may already intuitively know the recipes for, say, a worsted weight hat on this size needle. I'm going to need this many stitches. And then you know that recipe. And then to just simply take some of the Japanese stitches and plunk them in the recipe, it's not hard, right? So if you wanted to do that, even if you don't have a desire to be a designer and go through all the rigmarole of trying to get a pattern published, because let me tell you, it can be expensive. You can certainly make gorgeous, and I mean stunning, beautiful knits for yourself and for friends and family. I mean, like showstopper knits. You know what I mean? Like when you go to knit night and you look over and you see someone wearing a shawl and you're just like, oh my Lord, where did you get that? You know, who knit that? Did you knit it? What stitch? What pattern, right? So that's the reaction you would get. If you know your basic recipe, you've got your Stitch Bible, you can just plunk them in and just do gorgeous work, and just for yourself. I mean, and I think that's fabulous. I'll stop talking now and start knitting because I lost my screen for my separator stitch. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a class, like a thing online like this, where we can, like I'll show the recipe for people who haven't knit for as long and they don't intuitively know it from knitting it so much. I'm going to show a recipe for, say, maybe like a hat, worsted weight, and show how I plunk down the stitches and how I might alter a stitch a pinch or put some other element in it so that the stitches work within the confines of the hat. Okay, there is someone here with something good. Jazz Tune, you say, I chased a lady down the street because she had such a gorgeous shawl and I could tell it was handmade. My husband was like, what on earth are you doing? Yes. But she would, and then you say she was lovely and she told me the pattern. Oh, that's nice that she shared. That's really nice. Yeah. Can you imagine? That's something I would totally do. I'm like one of those people that when I'm out walking along, doing my thing, it's like squirrel, I'll see a knitting item and it's like all attention goes right on it. And I will stop people and say, oh my love, that is so gorgeous. Did you do that yourself? And I don't mind complimenting people. Just, even if they have beautiful hair or, if they have a great outfit on or wonderful shoes or a handbag, whatever, or the cutest kids. I don't mind stopping people and just giving a little bit of love and say, oh, that's beautiful, because it's nice to hear that. And as a knitter, I bet Jazz Tune, that lady felt like, because it's always so nice to have a compliment about your knitting. You sold a Teague. She's that cute little not Japanese, my goodness, Scottish designer. I think she now has a yarn shop in Scotland. Anyway, like I used to follow her blog when she was very young. She was like, I think 25, 24, 23 at the time, 25. And she was saying how when her first pattern, which I think was Gretel, when that came out, the Gretel pattern, the hat pattern, she saw a lady on the bus and she actually stopped the lady and asked if she could take a picture of her. I thought that was so cute. Okay. Okay, so Bjork Vale says, I have knitted since I was 6 years old and I almost never use a pattern now. Right. I create my own. I am now 55. Yes, you know it. Once you have been knitting for, once you've got that experience and you know the recipes, you can totally make your own knitwear, patterns up. I've seen people, I can't do it myself, Maybe you can, Bjork, do it. You might be able to do it, but I have to write them down. But I have seen, and my mother is one, she can do a pattern in her head. She knows the recipe inside out, upside down, and she'll plunk a stitch in, and she will just knit. Not even have anything to look at. She'll knit it up, and then she's done, and she's like, there's another baby sweater for a baby somewhere. I'm like, oh my word. And it would be stunning. It would be like, she does these traditional Irish, well, I don't know if it's, yeah, like the traditional Irish lace, which is really pretty. She'll do that in the baby sweaters. Beautiful. Now Karen says, I can't wait to get that skilled. You're so lucky. It comes with practice, Karen, but you know what? Frenchie, Francois Danoy, she's the one who's my mentor. She started knitting, I think, in 2014. And now she is a humongous, massive designer. Like, now her specialty is shawls. She doesn't do too many garments, but her specialty is shawls. She knows that shawl formula inside out, upside down, and sideways. And she can plunk stitches in. And it's nice that she happens to live in Japan too, right? So, but she doesn't speak Japanese. She speaks French and English. But yeah, so she hasn't been knitting long. It's just she adores knitting so much. That's just what she decided to do and do all the time. I wonder how her husband feels about that. I wish I could knit all the time and not have to worry about things like, getting the kids ready for school. Things like that. No. So Karen says, ooh, you're one of the, okay, Karen says that she's been knitting for 3 years only and self-taught off of YouTube videos. That's talent. I can do basic cables and just love them. I love cables too. I do. I adore them. But that's talent, to learn something off of YouTube. And Karen goes on to say, I dream of making a Fair Isle. Yes, I did a Fair Isle. Actually, if you want to wait just 2 seconds, I'm going to run and grab my Fair Isle. No doggos, don't break anything. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry for that little run. Ooh, we've got Thunder Grunt. Thunder Grunt 72 says, Thunder Grunt 72 says, I wish someone would knit me a sweater. Yeah, that's tech guy or tech boy, depending on how well he's doing with the tech. Yeah, I don't even knit sweaters often for myself. Sandra's laughing. Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I ran out of the room and now I've got my silly dogs are fighting. Oh, what, sweetie? Are you doing good? I'm doing well. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. My little girl just asked me if I was doing all right. That's sweet of her. Where did I make this? Norway. I was in Norway. This is a hat. Okay, drive safe, Thunder Grunt. Jack boy, drive safe. Because I need you. I don't know how to do all this stuff. No, that's true. I just drive safely. Okay. So this here, let's see, there we go. This is a Fair Isle that I knit in worsted weight when I was in Norway. And I used yarn that I found in a little shop. Was this Norway? it was. Yes, it was, because I went to see a Viking display afterwards. And I have this thing where when I go to different countries, I have to go into a local pub, and I have to have a local like produced beer or cider. I prefer cider or mead. I'm not really a beer girl, so I I have to go in, and this beautiful shop. It was like, or bar. It was an actual pub, but they served cake. Right? No, nothing else but cake with beer. And so I went in, I had cake, and I had my beer, and then I went to see the Vikings. But I knit this Fair Isle, and this was with Mary Jane Mucklestone. She was teaching it at the time when I was on the cruise. And so this is my Fair Isle. I think this is my one and only Fair Isle garment that I made on my own that wasn't like a pattern that, like, for a class. Do you know what I mean? And I wore this because it was raining like crazy. Oh, Bjork says she lives in... Oh, wait. Oh, the thing ran by. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, so you live in Norway and you know the pattern. Oh, the text cut off, so I see what you wrote part of the name. You wrote the name, but I can't quite see it because it cut off. I'd love to know it. It is like I did not create this pattern. Like this is a traditional pattern. I don't remember if I blew it up or not, like made it larger to go in the hat, but oh, Alice Strathmore, or sorry, Stramore. Oh, thank you. It is lovely. Thank you. I'm reading the chat because I just love. Jazz Tune says that's lovely. Thank you. Chirpri says, I love Alice Starmore's patterns. Oh, Bjork, thank you. It's called Selber Rose. Oh, I wish that we had the ability to talk, like for you ladies to be able to speak to me and we could hear each other, because I would love to be able to hear how that sounds, like in your accent. That would be so cool. Because I probably am not saying it correctly, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, I loved Norway. Oh, Norway and Iceland have stolen my heart. Like, if I could go, I would love to go there. Now, I imagine the Shetland Islands would be beautiful. I never got to go because of that hurricane that we had to avoid. But anyway, it's another story. But yeah, oh, you're so lucky to live in Norway, I think. I have an old Alice Starmore's book, and it's the one where it's the Celtic one, and it's the Fair Isle, and everything looks like okay, I hear one of my dogs doing something bad. Charles! I'm so sorry. I have the book that where it's I don't remember if it's like called the Book of the Kells or something, and it's just gorgeous. That woman knows her color theory. It's just exquisite. It's oh, beautiful. Here I am jabbering away, and I'm not even getting on with my repeat. I just love being able to talk to, just to be able to talk to you folks who, like, it could be you anywhere in the world. Like right now, someone's watching. That's why I love Twitch so much. Is because if you're a knitter, you can get together and do virtual knitting and just talk. And well, mind you, I'm doing all the talking, but but I am reading your chats, and I love hearing about stuff. It's so cool. I'm gonna have to see if Tech Boy can make it, or Tech Guy, sorry, if he's listening, can get it so that if you have a microphone on your device, if you could say something, then I could make it play, so we can, theoretically talk. I don't know how that would work, if it would be like a walkie-talkie kind of idea. I'm not very savvy with this stuff. I know I will learn this stuff inside out, but right now I've got so many knitting designs and patterns going on. I am swamped. I think if I stayed up all night, if I didn't sleep, I think I could probably get everything done. Maybe that has to be done. I'm sure everyone's like that though. Just thinking about Norway and the chocolate cake that they had there. And now I want cake. Oh, so bad. Okay, oops, I need my pattern back again. I don't remember what I wrote. There we go. Oh, here's a question. When you folks are knitting, do you knit from paper, or do you knit from electronics? Like, say, like on your cell phone or a tablet, or maybe have the computer up, like with it. I would assume you have to make it bigger. So how do you like to knit? Do you like to print out and do paper, or do you like to do the electronics? The reason why I ask is I kind of want to know, so when I format my designs, I want to make them super easy for people who are using electronic devices, so that, oh, we got some, okay, so Karen and Sandra say paper. Yeah, I do paper too. I have an iPad, and it's lovely. I haven't really learned or taken the time to learn how to get my Ravelry stuff on it and then open up patterns and knit from them. I just use paper. Mind you, I print in black and white, and I print both sides. And if I have a piece of paper where I've printed on one side, okay, so Sandra says that she usually has them on her iPad, but she does prefer paper. Okay. And your Trip, I don't want to make a mess of your name. Tripri. I'm so sorry. Tripri, you do paper. Oh, Bjork, you do mostly paper, but you also do it on an iPad. So I probably should have a little section in, like, I'd like to make my patterns so when you open them on an electronic device, there's like a bug. Yeah. No, not. Sorry, that was just weirdly timed. Okay. Thank you, Krista. Okay. Sandra, you only print on one side. You can't bear to print on both sides? You must be sitting on a money tree. I'm so cheap. Isn't that bad? Like, I will print both sides. If I find a piece of paper that has only one side printed, or maybe like one of my kids has done a drawing on it in pencil, I'll put that through the printer and use that. Maybe it's... okay, I'll say it's environmentally. We'll go with that. Ooh! Oh, so Karen said she just learned that Knit Companion app, that Knit Companion app for mobile devices, have a version for computers. See, I would do that. I think I would have, my design station is not this station down here. It's upstairs. Tech guy, like, he knows where to get all these techie things, and I've got 3 monitors right now. I'm probably being blasted with radiation or something, I don't know. But my design station upstairs, it's a Mac, because I love Macs. Anyway, it's a huge monitor, so I have everything really big. So if Knit Companion does a computer version, Sandra says, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So if they do a computer version, I would probably use that and save on paper. But yeah, that's cool, because then I could make it big, and then it wouldn't hurt my. I find I get a lot of eye strain from the backlit screens. That's why I usually use paper. Yeah, but that would be cool. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay. I have to write that down. Whoops. Because I know I'm gonna forget it. Knit Companion. Look for computer. Thank you for sharing that. That is a really, really, really good. Okay, so Karen says you have to download a program to run it. I will go grab the name from the email they sent me. Oh, that's sweet of you, if you don't mind. You know, if it's not too hard to find. Don't worry if it's too hard to find, you know. I'd love to know, though. Yeah, that would be great. Look for computer version. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, what I was thinking, where I was going with all this, is I'd like to make my patterns have, like, you know how ebooks, they have chapters, and if you tap on a chapter, it jumps right to that chapter? I was thinking if I had my patterns set up, say if you do charts, you tap on the chart, and then it just jumps to the chart. In the Google on your PC. Okay, I'm just reading. It says, I don't know if you folks can actually see the chat as well. Link is bluestacks.com. See, I have Apple. I wonder, well, these machines are PCs. I don't know if I want to touch them, though. You know? Not because I don't like PC. No. Like, I for years, I used PC when I was designing and, you know, doing all my work. Yes, thank you, Karen. Yes. Thank you, Sandra, for reminding me to say thank you to Karen. Oh, my manners. I'm sorry. What was it say? Yeah, no, I don't, like, PCs are awesome. It's just that I have a Mac now. I don't know if Google Play plays nicely with Mac, because usually with Macs, I think it's something that, like, iTunes, iStore. Anyway, I'll have to see if they got a Mac version. Where was that? Okay, yes. BlueStacks.com. Okay, and that is for the Knit Companion. Perfect. Okay. There I go. Yeah, like, I was thinking about making hyperlinks that are clickable, and it jumps, and it, you know, so that you could say, if you do the charts, you don't have to, like, scroll through 17 pages, you know, find the chart. You just hit charts, and boom, chart section pops up on your tablet. Or if you use only the written instructions, you click on written, pops up, I think that would be helpful and handy, because I know I don't like scrolling through a lot of stuff. Like, I do it, but you know. Oh, and also I had someone tell me that it would be easier to have the major instructions, like say if I have a cast on that's very specific, to have it all in one section for tablet users. That way you don't have to flip, like tap to go to the next page or go back. Yeah. So I was just wondering, like, who does paper, who does electronic, and that way I can kind of get that feedback, because my goal is to make my personal patterns that I write and send out into the world, I want them to be, like, give as much pleasure as possible when you knit. Because I've knit from patterns before, and they are so frustrating because of, well, errors. Like the sampler that you're knitting from, sorry. Or they have, or it's just the format is laid out in a confusing manner or not a very visually pleasing manner. That can irritate me. Oh, okay, so I gotta see whose name this is. Oh, Karen, okay. If I had the technology to have multiple windows or pattern pages on the same large screen with program to check off lines done, etc., and the key in the same view, I'd use electronic version for sure. Yes! Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. So if I somehow could make my patterns have... Yeah, okay, I'm going to think about that. I don't know if it's possible for... on the smaller, but... I'm sorry, I got totally distracted by my dog, Marla. She is sniffing the computer monitor. Like, I don't know if you heard her. That wasn't me. She's sniffing the monitors. I don't know why. Yeah, okay, so large screen with program to check off lines done. You know, I wonder how hard that would be to code. I like coding. It's something I like to do, because knitting patterns is essentially code. That's the way I look at them. And I love languages to learn new... Guys! Hey! No! Sorry, I apologize. Marla is a big dog, but she gets... Wanna say... Oh, she gets very scared easy, and I think something like my knitting needle. She stepped on my knitting needle and it went flying. Let me see. I think Knit Companion will be the next best electronic tool for knitters and crocheters in the next few years to come. And that was by Karen. And Sandra says, yes, me too. Yeah. I mean, everyone will probably... I don't think print is dead. Ooh, something... I just learned something new. Karen says that you can do that in Knit Companion. Save where you left off. And much more. Read up on its great tool for electronic users. See, I don't have Knit Companion. That's something I should look at. Okay, I've got that marked down for computer version. Knit Companion works on an iPad, I would assume. Like a phone or an iPad already. Like, that's its thing. So if it works on a computer, that's totally different, I'm thinking. Because I have an iPad. So I'd have to download it. You know, I'm just going to play with it. I'm going to play with it. Just to see what it's like. Now, where am I knitting? Well, I guess I'm not knitting. Oh, wait, no, I am. Because I thought Marla had taken one of my needles, or when I thought I dropped one. My dog Marla, that is. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to knit on this tonight and I'm just going to take a break from designing, I think. Oh no, I have a conference call. Shoot. Rats. Because I was going to say, I was just going to... Oh, okay, so Karen just wrote something here about the app. There's a basic free app for mobile devices with limits, and it interfaces with Ravelry and other programs and websites for knitting. Then you can buy a subscription to have more elaborate uses. Everyone's doing that subscription thing, huh? I think that's the way everyone's going now. Like, it used to be you pay thousands of dollars for a computer program like, say, Photoshop. And now it's like a monthly subscription, which is cheap, but over the course of time, it's actually not cheap. Yeah, that's cool. I'll look into that too. Shoot, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. I should wind down now. Make sure my monkeys, my little ones upstairs, are not destroying anything, because I don't hear any heavy footsteps, so that means they're doing something. They possibly could be doing something saucy. Yeah, I would love just to sit and knit on the sampler tonight, and I really hope that if you're wherever you are, that you can just sit and relax and knit on the sampler and just, you know, just let it grow and just knit and relax and have fun, because that's what I want to do. I won't be able to do that tonight because I have a conference call, which I think someone on here has one too. Oh, Christy just said, thank you for sharing the information, Karen. Yes, thank you, Karen. That is so sweet of you. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll sign off right now. So thank you for joining me. I really had so much fun, and I learned a lot today. I mean, this is so grand. I love knitting with people and learning. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, Tech Boy. He always said this. When you use Twitch, hit the subscribe button somewhere on the I don't know where it is on your screen, but it makes it easier for you to find your channels that you like. So if you like knitting with me and with everyone, and I hope you can see the text on the screen too, hit that subscribe button, and that way it's easier to find out where I am when I sign on. Oh, anyway, I love Twitch. Yes. Oh, okay. We've got my eyes. Jazz Tune. Thank you, Nin. So much fun tonight. I'm glad you clarified that bobble I had missed yesterday. You know what? I think poor Karen, I think it was. Oh my God, Karen. Yesterday, that was a nightmare. I'm sure if she could have grabbed her keyboard, she would have smacked me with it, because like I said, I don't crochet, and the time lag, like we had a big lag, so she would say something and then or chat something, and then I would say something, and you know, like it was getting mixed up. Oh, Sandra says good night. Yes, good night. Christy says, and now it's time for Bad for You. Thank you, Nin, for your time. Oh, you're welcome. I really enjoy doing this, so I hope I bring value to you, you know, to learn something new and maybe just have some fun and just, you know, have that ability to learn from each other and have a little bit of silliness. You know, I think it's good to relax and do this. All right, so good night, everyone, and I will be live streaming tomorrow. Hopefully Tech Boy will be back. If he can help me. I will fly on my own in this eventually, but I do enjoy having Tech Boy help me. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Twitch TV at Nin Designs. And yeah, so have a great night. Thanks.